Could one of these samples be Whiskey of the Year? Let's find out. What is going on, everybody? Nathan here with the Everyday Drinker. Everybody has a brand new video. Today, we're going to be doing the next episode of the Mystery Blind Sample Box. If you are unaware of how this works, it's very, very fun and very, very simple. My wife goes into my sample box, grabs 4 sample bottles, pours them in the respective glasses with the respective letter on the glass, puts those bottles in the box right here. At the end, I will find out what the samples are. When we are drinking, you will know what the samples are. Very, very easy, very, very simple. But before we get into it, let me tell you about something real quick. I want one thing for Christmas, and that's to hit 10,000 subscribers, and that's only possible from you guys for hitting that subscribe button. And once we hit 10,000 subscribers, I'm giving away this Buffalo Trace Trio set to one lucky subscriber. You will get the chance to get an Eagle Rare 10-year, a bottle of a Blanton Single Barrel, and an E.H. Taylor Small Batch. All you have to do is subscribe to the channel, and then go check out the link below to the Instagram post where the giveaway is going to happen. You gotta follow the Instagram, like the post, and comment hashtag EDD10K to be entered into the 10,000 subscriber giveaway. Very, very easy, very, very simple, and I hope one of you are lucky enough to win. But like I said, all I want for Christmas is 10,000 subscribers, and that's only possible from you all. But let's get into the video. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys are excited as I am for this blind. You will see what the bottle is on the mystery box right here with letter A. I've got no idea, so let's dive into this nose and see what it's all about. Really, really interesting nose off of the bat there. I got like really, really sweet, sugary, grassy notes. I don't know how better to describe what that was, but it was sugary, it was sweet, it was a little touch of like a brown caramel, and then I got a little bit of that earthy, grassy note that, you know, I enjoyed, but it wasn't like, wow, why is that coming through as well as that sweet note? On that second nosing there, I get a little bit of like an orange zest. I don't get a lot of juice. I don't get a lot of like the pulpiness or whatnot. I don't get like a sweet like orange marmalade. I got that nice orange note without the sweetness behind it, and that comes from that orange oil from that zest. I really like this nose. The nose is beautiful, but there's nothing that's like wowing me from this. So I think we get in the palate. Cheers, everybody. It's much lighter, but it has a lot of proof. It's got a lot of burn going down right here. It dries the top of your palate, makes you salivate a lot. This is really interesting. I don't think that this is like super old, but it has some oaky presence to it. That proof really comes through on this. Wow, that's really interesting. I didn't get a lot off of that first sip flavor-wise, just the effects of what it did to your palate. Going back in, you do get that oakiness. Kind of tastes like it's finished in something. Maybe French oak or something along those lines. That orangey note comes through, but that tails off in the beginning of the palate. And then I do find that sugary, grassy note, which is really, really interesting on this. I think that's because it's a little bit younger. But I could be completely wrong on that. Let's move on to sample B. Sample B's nose smells like a weeder, but a really, really sweet vanilla icing, like the royal icing. Like I find this note in this a lot of the times in the Benchmark Single Barrel. Just a really deep vanilla icing note with vanilla cake and stuff like that. But I do get that weeder profile because I'm not getting any spice on this whatsoever. Just a lot of sweetness. Bready, like soft bread, like a white bread. But that vanilla icing is so prevalent on this. Skin of the palate. That's wonderful. That is wonderful. It's sweet, it's light. It doesn't have the proof burn that A had. It gives you a little bit of like an oily effect that coats your entire palate, but it doesn't dry you out. It just leaves this like lingering film that like makes you, that finish is still going. Whoa, B is incredible. That sweetness takes over. It brings in a lot of enjoyment. There is nothing off-putting about B whatsoever. I enjoy B so much. A little bit better than A, so I'm just going to move it ahead of it right there, right now. And let's get into sample C. C, I can't really find much in this nose. It's a lot softer and muted compared to B and A so far. I'm not quite sure what I'm trying to find in C here. Very light on the nose. Very light. All right, let's get to the palate. See if it kind of amplifies anything, because the nose on this, not really finding much. It's very soft. Palate's very interesting though. Palate has rye spice. This reminds me of a rye. I feel like I've had this before. And don't get me wrong, I've had these samples before. When I get a sample, I tend to pour it that day or the next day, try it out, see what it's all about, and you know, this is reminiscent of something I've had, but I have absolutely no idea. Okay, the nose is here a little bit more. I'm getting a little bit more of that rye spice. I get a little bit of a pine note, which brings me and lends me into what a rye whiskey can be. So I'm thinking that this might be a rye, because I get a little bit of a dill aspect out of this as well. I like C a little bit more than A, I believe. So C is going to go in front of A. Let's move on to sample D. D. I know this nose. I know this nose. If I don't know a nose, I don't know a nose. I'm going to say D is a turkey of some sort. I have a lot of turkey samples. A lot of turkey samples. I'm saying D is a turkey. It's got to be a turkey. It's got that mustiness. It's got that old cellar barny quality. A little bit of a hay bale, but a little bit of a spice behind it that I always find. This is reminiscent, so reminiscent of a turkey. Let's get into the palate. Definitely a higher proofer. I get that that barny, musty, dark celery kind of vibe going on my palate. Definitely has to be a turkey. D has to be a turkey. If I am wrong on that, so help me God. So help me God. I like it, but I don't know if I like it more than A. So this is where we go and we drink these again, and I will see you guys when I pick my favorite. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have our final order, and I have them in the order that follows. In fourth place, I have letter A. Third place, letter D. Second place, letter B. And first place, letter C. I really enjoyed whatever this rye whiskey was from C. If it's a rye whiskey, it tastes like it's a rye compared to the other three offerings. B was what I believe to be, I think, the weeder, because it was sweet, had that really punchy, just like really sweet vanilla icing and vanilla birthday cake. D, again, I believe 100% wholeheartedly with everything of my being, is a turkey product, was really good. A had a lot of burn, not a lot going for it, was really dry, wasn't my cup of tea, had that drying effect that took everything out of my palate, but it did taste young, so I'm not quite sure what A could possibly be compared to these other three that were exceptional. So let's open this box, let's find out what our samples are. Like I said, you guys know what they are. I have no idea. So here we go. You guys will see on the bottom that I don't see what the sample, the letter corresponds to the glass is. So we've got a Russell's Private Barrel at 110 proof. Not quite sure if what that rick house or whatever is from that. Redwood Empire Lost Monarch cask strength. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. All right. We've got, what is this? A Ben Holiday 7-year 120 proof store pick. All right. And then finally, Silver Grove barrel proof at 113.5 proof. So all of these from 110 up to 120 proof. So close proof points. She's doing good with that. She's doing really good with picking close proof points. She's learned a lot over these past couple of years. But without further ado, we've got letter A that came in fourth place. I'm going to take a guess and say it was this. No, it was not. Was it this? Silver Grove Barrel Proof at 113.5. It is the Silver Grove. Now, I'm not quite sure what Silver Grove is, so let me do a little research and find out for you what it is right now. All right, so I've got the information. I've got the picture of the bottle. You guys have already seen this picture, but straight bourbon whiskey, barrel proof, without chill filtration, aged 4 years, distilled, aged, and bottled by New Riff Distilling at 113.5 proof. So, really interesting pour. I thought it was young. It was young, and that's the case there. D, I'm going to just automatically assume is this Russell's Private Select. Let's see. It is D. I was right. It was a turkey product. And if I was wrong, so help me God. Thank God I wasn't wrong. But we've got a Ben Holiday and then the Redwood Empire Lost Monarch. What is the Lost Monarch? Does anybody know? Let me tell you if you don't know. The Lost Monarch is a blend of bourbon and rye. And this one is at cask strength. So I'm going to take a guess and say that on the bottom of this is a C and the bottom of this is a B. 3, 2, 1. We've got a C on the Lost Monarch and a B on the bottom of the Ben Holiday. This one was kind of clear cutting right there in your face on what this was once I realized what the samples were. Very, very fun blind. Thank you to everybody who has sent me these samples here on the bar. Like I say, if you want to send me samples, reach out through the email. Check out the Patreon. Fun things happen over there. But until next time, make sure you guys drop that subscribe button for the 10,000 subscriber giveaway. This has been Nathan with the Everyday Drinker. Cheers.